Thank you for your interest in the Agreement Designer from Single Source Systems. The Agreement Designer is a module within the Single Source Productivity Tool product suite. The Single Source Productivity Tools are a collection of product extensions that enhance the user productivity within the Acumatica ERP product. My name is Marty Rhodes, and I'll be your host in presenting this short video providing an overview of the Agreement Designer. The goal of the Agreement Designer is to combine actual data from documents in Acumatica. These documents could be sales quotes, service orders, change orders, and we're going to combine data from these documents with textual content that is related to those documents. Now, this textual content might be a predefined and reusable scope of work related to a service order. It might be your standard terms and conditions that you use on projects or subcontracts. And it's possible that in your current business place that this content is probably stored, this textual content is probably stored in a Word document in some kind of boilerplate format, and then when you need to use it, you copy it to its own version, its own Word version, and then you amend it for a specific business transaction, and then you store that document, and then you manually attach it or upload it as an addendum file to the primary document stored in Acumatica. Now, in this example that you see on the screen, we're looking at 4-page agreement that was actually generated with the Agreement Designer. Now, the Agreement Designer breaks a document down into 5 primary components. Those are a page header, a section header, sections, a line item detail or a line template table, and then a footer. So what you're looking at here is a 4-page document. At the top of each document is a page header, and this page header is configurable, defined within an agreement template. In this case, we are actually displaying the logo from the active branch for which we're signed in. We're also displaying a change order number in the page header. And in this case, we're actually looking at a change order agreement. Now, right below on page 1 to the far left, right below the logo, you'll see a collection of data. You've got a project number, a change order number, a status, change order date, and a description. Now, that is actually data that is extracted from Acumatica and embedded in this agreement. Now, right below that header information, you'll see a collection of paragraphs that continue throughout the rest of the document. And those paragraphs have a larger font, blue font heading, and then within that paragraph is the textual content representing that particular definition for that paragraph. So on page 1, we have change order introduction, we have an objective, we have a scope of work, and you'll notice the objective is somewhat generic, or it says insert objective definition here. And that was purposefully done to illustrate that this is a template document format which can be personalized or customized for each document for which you assign it. So it starts out as a template, but because it's for change order number 18, we're probably going to want to override that language and make it unique, make a unique objective, make a unique scope of work, and so forth. Now, there may be other sections where we don't want to change it. We want to inherit that standard language, like page 2, where we're showing the change order, or excuse me, change control process, or on page 3, where we're illustrating our deposit and requirements and payment terms. So the flexibility of this tool allows for a template to be attached to a document, and then it can be amended specific to that particular business requirement. Now, the next element that we'll talk about is on page 3. There's a table underneath the change detail section header, and that table again is extracting data out of the database It is the change description, and it's also the cost or the of the change order itself. So just another example that we can embed the data right inside the document. So all of these sections can be defined once and then reused on multiple templates. They can be assembled into multiple templates that can then also be personalized or customized based on the definition, the overall definition of that particular template. As mentioned on the previous slide, when you start or initially install the software, you are going to want to set some preferences. So on this slide, you'll see that we're actually looking at the single source productivity tools workspace, and we have the productivity tool agreement designer enabled, highlighted. And within the agreement designer, we're going to enable or activate the different document types that are currently supported. So we support change orders, customer contracts, opportunities, projects, purchase orders, sales orders, service contracts, service orders, and subcontracts. So you're able to extract data related to any of those document types, embed it into an agreement, and then wrap that text around that data to create your own agreement related to each of those specific document types. Agreement sections are individual paragraphs of text that represent the body or the contractual language that you want reflected in your agreement. A section is composed of a description, which prints in the agreement as a paragraph title. A section also includes the body of the textual content related to the respective section. In addition to keyboard input in the section body, the Acumatica Rich Text Editor also allows for images or table layouts to be included. The person responsible for defining the section language will build a library of these individual sections, which will ultimately be assembled into an agreement template. These individual agreement sections can be built once and then reused in multiple templates. Once the agreement sections have been defined, the individual sections are assembled into agreement templates. Templates are specific to the Acumatica document for which it is to be associated, and you can have multiple templates for each document type. For example, you might have an over-the-counter sales order template with language reflecting your return policy, but you could also have a dropship sales order template that includes standard shipping and handling language for dropship orders. The agreement sections are sequenced within a template, and options can be enabled or disabled that affect the agreement output. After the agreement templates have been created, they are ready for use. When a user is ready to generate an agreement for a document, the user makes active the transactional screen in Acumatica, such as a sales order, or in the case of the example we're using, a change order. The user then clicks the Add Agreement button to instantiate a new agreement for the active document. After clicking the Add button, the user is presented with this screen. In this example, we're creating an agreement for change order reference number 000018. We have selected the template ID of type change order to be applied to this document. Upon selecting the template ID, all of the sections that were predefined and associated with the change order template will be copied into this agreement. At that point, the user responsible for maintaining this agreement can accept the default language for each section, or they can override the body content for each section and make it unique for this specific document and related transaction. The document can be previewed at any time prior to rendering the final version, and once the textual manipulation or amendments have been completed, the user clicks the Generate button to generate a unique agreement record. In this case, the new agreement is associated to the transaction document, change order number 18. And as a reminder, a Microsoft Word document is generated and saved as an attachment to this agreement record. Once you save that agreement, it's going to return you to your originating document record. So in this case, we were on the change order, and it saved the agreement and it gave it its own agreement number. So it's agreement number 2, version 1. And it has associated this particular agreement, which is of type change order. It has created a relationship between this document and this change order. So you always know what relationship is for a particular change order, what the originating document type is, and what the originating document is. Here is the agreement output that was generated for the change order number 18 that we used in this example. It has a page header with embedded data. It has a header section with embedded data related to the change order. It has a collection of sections that defaulted in from the template. It has the price reflected in the change order line detail displayed in the table format on page 3. And then the remaining sections, also from the template, complete the definition of this transactional agreement. More of examples, here's what a quote agreement might look like. And in this case, we're using opportunities. So at the top of the page, you can see what the opportunity number is. You can see what the opportunity description and the account name that's associated with the opportunity, the total of the quote. In this case, we've got a sales quote introduction section. We're actually extracting the line level detail from the sales quote and including that, embedding that inside of this document in the table on page 1. We're reusing our terms and conditions section that we defined once and then use in a quote template. And then also we're reusing that client authorization section that we've defined once. If you are interested in pricing and licensing options, or if you have specific questions about the functionality of the Agreement Designer or more about the single source productivity tools, you can contact us by sending an email to success@singlesrc.com. Again, thank you for your interest in the Agreement Designer and the productivity tools, and we look forward to hearing from you.